We're going to get our hips into the same position for the pendulum sweep. Anytime I get my hips perpendicular, that's a good time to be hitting submissions like your arm bar, triangle and omoplata. If you think about closed guard, if I'm in parallel with Carl and my head's in line with his, I have no chance of hitting an arm bar or a triangle or an omoplata. It's all about getting to that perpendicular angle. And we're doing that when we go for the pendulum sweep. So sometimes when you drill the sweep, you can also add in from the position of your hips. You can go for submissions, and then your partner's reaction can give you a little bit of a flow drill. So we'll set up that same, from the same grip that we looked at on Tuesday night. So I'm going to make that tricep grip at the back of the lapel. I'll be breaking Carl's posture to try and get his butt off his heels so I can underhook this leg and I go elbow deep. Again, my goal is to get my right knee and toes pointing to the mat. So it's the kick of this leg and the whip of my hip. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 goes, okay, to get into that position. But instead of actually hitting the pendulum sweep from here, notice I've got my hips right under Carl's. I'm underneath the center of gravity. That arm is there, so that tricep grip can just come across and my leg can come over and I can hit that arm bar. I'm not going to go into details on how to finish all these submissions. We'll look at that in a different class. But sometimes from there, if I'm not quick enough, Carl's reaction is to pull that arm out. But now he's leaving this arm in between my legs and I can start to work the omoplata from here. But again, as I go for that, Carl's reaction is to posture. I can still attack that same arm if I switch my angle and then I turn my body 180. And now from here, I have the triangle. Okay? Some of you are new to these submissions, and just do your best. I'm not going to go into detail on how to finish each one, or I'll be here all night. It's just a little bit of a flow drill. So again, I'll make that first tricep grip. Okay? I'll be pulling with my heels to create space, so Carl's butt's up in the air, allowing me to get that underhook, and I'm going elbow deep. So now my goal is to get my knee and toes pointing towards the mat. So I kick out with this leg, it's a little bit of a whip, and I get right under him here. So rather than hitting the sweep, that tricep grip can just come over his wrist, and I lift my leg over his head, and I can lift my hips to finish the arm bar. But the reaction is Carl pulls his arm out, so I can't attack that right arm, but I can attack his left. So I just curl my foot towards the mat, and I'm looking to get his shoulder towards the mat, obviously, and sit up and get into the omoplata. But in the transition, Carl might posture. So I'm on the left-hand side of Carl. If I can physically get a grip on his lapel here, bring my leg over his shoulder, and turn my hips 180 degrees, I can lock the triangle and hit it on the same arm. That makes sense? Let's just get a better angle on that. So from here, you make that tricep grip, pull, you create space for that underhook, and then that detail of kicking out and getting my hips in the right place. So now my hips are out to the side and they're off the mat, so my arm can come across. I can look for the arm bar one. Carl pulls that arm out, he just curl out over the shoulder. Obviously I want to try and get him the shoulder to the mat, but his next defense is the posture. So I'm coming up with him. See the way when Carl postures, I keep my hips, I want my hips glued as high as possible. So they're right under his armpit, and then this leg will come over. This underhook comes out and I'll look for this one. Now I'm coming up and I can physically operate. Okay, so